some other breaking news coming in. The disengagement process at the line of actual control between India and China has begun. These visuals on your screens have been accessed exclusively by Times Now of that particular process. India has forced China to pull back. These visuals that we are going to put for you shortly have been accessed by your channel. These are the first visuals of that disengagement process, which has now finally begun. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today in the Parliament did tell not just the members of Parliament but also the entire country that this process has begun. These shots on your screens are of Indian troops as well as the PLA troops disengaging. This is the first PLA tank that is moving back into its territory. Status quo shall be restored soon is what the Defence Minister also promised earlier today while he was assuring members of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. After 8 to 10 months of dialogue, military-level dialogue, in fact, between India and China, the disengagement process has finally begun. The northern and the southern areas around Pangong Tso is where this process is going to be focused on at the moment. These visuals on your screens are from the line of actual control in the Pangong Tso area where this disengagement process between India and China is centered at. National Affairs Editor Srinjoy Chaudhary is with us for more on this. Srinjoy, you've accessed these visuals for us. What exactly is happening there now?
Well, this is a clear sign that the disengagement process has actually begun. You saw the officers shaking hands. You saw the tanks, the first PLA tanks moving backwards. It has taken 10 months. It has taken some bloodshed. But now, finally, there is a level of disengagement. It doesn't mean game, set and match. It just means that the process has just begun. And hopefully it will continue to go forward because once the disengagement process starts, particularly in the Pangong area where the Chinese had about 100 tanks, and some of them the best tanks, the ZT-Z99 tanks, about 50 armored personnel carriers, about 15,000 troops, artillery, not to speak of air defense systems. Our movement back is a very, very good moment. And that is why we have to say that it's the first step because there's, as they say, a lot has been done, but much more remains to be done. So
absolutely, we're given to understand, Srinjoy, that all constructions at the South Bank that were done in the last year in 2020 are also going to be removed. China has agreed to that as well?
Yes, undoubtedly, the decision is not just the South Bank, also the North Bank. For instance, in the Finger 7 area, there were a lot of artillery positions. Those artillery positions have to go. It's very clear that this cannot stay. And if the Chinese are going to leave in any case, why should they keep what they had done, their infrastructural work? So they will take it back with them. And that's how it should be, because this has been Indian territory. And hopefully, now that the Chinese have left, it will be the beginning of the thaw. This is just the first step of the thaw. There is much more that has to happen in other areas, whether it's Depsang, whether it's Rudok, whether it's Hot Springs, and so on.
Absolutely, but it is the first step in the right direction. Srinjoy, we're given to understand that China has agreed to withdraw about 16,000 troops cumulatively from the North and the South Bank?
A little more, perhaps, but certainly at least 15,000 troops, maybe more, because first of all, this has to happen because the government also decided you had to go one area at a time. Initially, if you remember, PP 14 and 15 were cleared. Right. Then, of course, happened the Galwan clash, which is why you had these problems for 8-9 months. Now, they decided Pangong was really a very sensitive area. People were close to each other. You know, one bullet fired in the night could lead to escalation. So let's go ahead and clear out Pangong. And there were differences which were sorted out. So thankfully now we can go ahead.
Right, stay with us. Consulting editor Maruf Raza is also with us on this broadcast. Thank you for speaking with us here. Put this in perspective, Maruf, for our viewers, because it took about 9 months of engaging to begin this disengagement process between India and China. We've seen several rounds of military-level talks that were held. This is just the first step now that we're seeing today, but it is a first and a big step in the right direction.
Yes, one cannot discount the merit of what is taking place right now. but I'd like to add one or two caveats to it. One is that the Chinese have probably become conscious of the fact that they are not going to be able to make any gains in the Pangong Tso area, more so after 5th of August when our Special Frontier Force troops and some other army units had occupied some of the dominating heights, put China in a complete state of surprise. The second thing is that China, even now, would not give up the possibility of making ingress in some other areas, because please understand, this area around Pangong Tso Lake, the tanks are there purely to give a kind of psychological advantage to the forces. The real tank activity, if it at all takes place, will take place north of that towards the Depsang Plains. So unless that is completely free of tank movement, and tanks normally don't come so close to the front line initially. They come to the front line only when they have offensive intent. So that is the second aspect. And the third is that we will have to keep watching out all along the troubled Sino-Indian front line, not just at the LAC, but also at the McMahon line and around Arunachal Pradesh, where we have received information about some amount of China efforts to try and gain some territory. Until all this is really put into a very, very deep and constructive process of identifying whose territory is what and how much who needs to give away, we will keep having incidents like this. So I'm not counting my chickens right now.
Right.
I'm going to insist to say that let us keep watching, let us verify everything on the ground, and movement of tanks around Pangong Tso is more for visual impact. The real threat of tanks would be north of that in the Depsang Plains.
Absolutely. India must be wary of China and the Chinese troops because, like you were mentioning, Maruf, we've seen their transgressions in several other areas as well. It's not just in eastern Ladakh. But this, of course, is the beginning of trying to ensure or restore peace at the line of actual control because we've seen several instances at this particular border in the last 9 months. Of course, the bloodiest one was Galwan, where we did lose several of our braves. But China has now decided, have finally agreed to at least pull back. There has been some sort of progress in the kind of dialogue that was held over the last few months.
Yes, obviously. I mean, 9 months of dialogue would eventually become fruitless if there was no progress. But please do not take everything that the Chinese are saying and doing at face value. Let us keep our guard up. We were caught with our guard down 9 months ago. Let us not let that happen again.
Right. Right, Maruf Raza, thank you so much for speaking with us there. China has agreed, India has forced China to pull back as far as the situation at the line of actual control goes. But like Maruf Raza was pointing out, India must be wary of the promises China makes, and our guard will stay up, which is also what Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, did promise to the members of parliament earlier this morning when he said that India has always maintained tight visual along the LAC and will continue to do so, and not an inch of land was conceded in the past, will not be conceded in the future as well. With that, we're slipping into a very quick break here on this edition, but news and updates continue. Do stay with us.